Color grading is often seen as a second chance and the final step in bringing every shot to its full potential. And sure, it can be that, but you really shouldn't treat it as just the last step, because the secret to cinematic colors is not in a magical plugin or perfect amount of grain. Actually, it starts before you even hit record.
Alright, remind me why am I here again?
To learn color grading? Just like you asked.
Pretty sure I just asked if you have any cool lot.
Yeah, but this is way better. Come on, just go inside.
Do I have to?
Yeah, you kinda do.
What is this place?
It's basically just a room. A very dusty room. But that doesn't really matter. You see that desk in front of you?
Yes?
Well, that actually matters. Get a bit closer. These photos, they're from the movies that are widely considered to have a very cinematic look.
Cool. Very touching. And what am I supposed to do with that?
Okay, if you can spot these films, name them on the board, you will discover the first secret behind Hollywood's color grading.
Fine.
Great. Okay, tell me what you found.
That you're into printing stuff.
Really? That's it?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. If you take a closer look, you will see that none of these films forced their desired look through grading alone. They crafted everything around the visual style they wanted. If the necessary elements are not already there in the frame, no amount of grading is gonna save it. So, what can create a very strong foundation for the grade?
Okay, that was cool.
Thank you. Now, if you want to truly understand, go check that laptop on your left. You can find countless examples of this, but there's a movie called Black Film, which makes the connection between color grading and set design so undeniably clear. The filmmakers aimed for a warm retro look to match the 80s vibes, but in almost every single shot of this film is a hint of blue, thoughtfully placed in both wardrobe and props to create a lot more contrast without breaking the look. So even after a very warm grade, the image feels beautifully balanced.
So basically, they made the orange and teal look by putting blue stuff in the frame?
Exactly. It wasn't a last-minute decision or forced into the grade. It was already there.
Interesting. Wait, that was it?
There's another board. Behind you.
Is this another puzzle?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, what am I looking at?
You tell me.
What do you mean?
Besides set and custom design, there's one more thing you can use before grading that will make everything fall into place. And just like before, it all comes down to contrast.
I think I got it. It's the blue paints on the orange papers, and the orange paints on blue papers.
That was we don't have enough time to explain the how fast.
Okay, enlighten me.
With pleasure. Open the last folder. You will see hundreds of images where mixing warm and cool color temperatures had a huge impact on the look and the contrast. The effect really pops when your two lights are around 2 to 3000 Kelvin apart.
Like 2900 and 6500?
Yes, this may be considered a lighting trick, but it has a noticeable impact in the color grading process. It can work in both ways.
Yeah, but you mean for every single scene?
The lights needs to be motivated by something, but no, not for every scene. Check the second laptop on your right. There are plenty of great looking shots that use just one tone. I mean, it still depends on your story, location and lighting motivations. But pulling off a good one-tone image is a lot harder. And when you watch them side by side, you probably get what I'm saying.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Taking care of these things will make your grading process easier and more powerful. Now, ready to start the actual grading?
Thought you would never ask. How about we do this my way?
Well, I was thinking that maybe we could...
Perfect. First step, converting slot 3 or any other light format to Davinci Wide Gamut and then to Rec 709. So that will be our first and last node. Ask me why.
Why?
To get the maximum dynamic range. Then I'll create 4 more nodes in between, starting with contrast and...
Exposure?
Exactly. I usually start with just gamma and gain, but still keeping an eye on the vector scope, and I try to keep the shadows above 0 and highlights under 900. And sometimes lowering the contrast and mid-details will create a more cinematic look, especially with mirrorless cameras. The next node is white balance and the look.
The most important one.
Right. And sometimes I try to steal from the ones I love. I've noticed that I like the films that have a bluish or desaturated look, and most Sony cameras have lots of unnecessary reds in the shadows. So I reduce the reds using lift, gamma and gain, but it's better to do most of the work with just gamma and gain. Then I'll create a parallel node to bring back a bit of yellows and reds to the midtones. Don't you want to add something?
I do. There's a plugin called Dehancer. That's always been my final touch.
Okay, where should I get it?
You can download it from the website. It's a really accurate film emulation plugin with lots of film stocks, but it's not free.
Yeah, I'm trying to buy $500? Bold of you to think I would actually buy that.
Well, you can use mine if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, drag the Dehancer to the next node after white balance and change the source to DWR intermediate and reduce the gain to 0.600. Then choose a film stock.
Okay, which one?
Anyone you like. I use Kodak Aero Color for most of the night scenes and Kodak Vision 3 for most daytime scenes. Then I would enable the grain, halation and bloom, and it's done.
So all these steps were necessary, huh?
None of them are necessary, but planning and putting time and effort into your work always makes a difference. For example, everything you went through today was planned 30 days ago.
What?
Everything started when I was trying to make a color grading video without just recording my screen. So, I headed over to Milanotes, the best place for planning and organizing, and tried to gather all of my ideas in one place. The first part was writing the script. After finishing the first draft, I transferred everything to Milanotes, adding some visual references, and organized it into 5 chapters. Next step, set design. I put together a mood board in Milanotes with all the things I thought would suit the place, like a library with vintage books, and a bunch of brown furnitures. This story is supposed to have a few puzzles, so I wrote down everything that came to my mind in Milanotes, and then choose the one with a better chance of actually working. It's always better to have all of your ideas in one place. Then it was time to make a shot list. So I grabbed the shot list template from Milanote and started writing the shot types and frame sizes for each scene, and paired them with at least 2 visual references for each one. They can work both as inspiration and as a backup plan. The next step was making a gear list. Unfortunately, Milanote has a template for that too. I chose the DZOFilm Arles primes and paired them with Sony ZV-1. These are definitely the best lenses I ever used. Now the only remaining part was music. I dragged all the songs that I like into the soundtrack board and tried to match each one to a specific moment in the video. Then, after 4 weeks of planning and huge help of Milanote, everything was ready to roll. Milanote is available for free with no time limit, so you can sign up for free using the link in the description. So yeah, like I was saying, all the time we put in our work really pays off at the end. I mean, everything you did today was worth it, right? Right?
Yeah, totally.
Haha, I know it. So ready to discover a new secret? Oh, I'm sure you're ready. Go check the books on the library on your left, and you will discover the biggest trick about color grading.